to the Game Day Show. I'm your host, Jeff Gorby. I'm joined by the Codgers here, Mr. Dave Carroll to my right, and to his right, Coach Jack Harris. Again, we'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode. We're here at Ironton Tank Stadium for tonight's matchup between the 2-0 Fairland Dragons and the homestanding 2-0 Ironton Tigers. Coach, busy week for the Dragons this week. We had some volleyball games, some soccer games. Wanted to kind of give you the opportunity. I know we were talking about it, kind of give you an opportunity to update some people on some things that happened there.
Well, we got to take care of our other sports too, and I'm old, everybody, so I had to write this down. I couldn't do it on my phone. All right, so soccer. Last night girls played
at Gallia. Yep.
At Gallia. Won that one 6-0. Molly Dunlap had 2 goals. I guess some others had one. Mm-hmm. Boys came up on the short end last night, 1-0.
Come up full short.
0-0 at the half. So
and Jameson Lauder played a great game and a goal for us. It was 0-0 at the half. It was 0-0 late going into the game. I think there was about 13 minutes left when Gallia scored that goal. And Gallia is a team that we have struggled with in the past. It's usually 6-1, 7-1, 8-0. So to make it a 1-0 game was outstanding last night.
That's improvement.
Yeah.
Let's go to volleyball. Coach Mary Haynes, they won Tuesday night. They beat Cold Grove in 3 straight sets, and then last night lost to Gallia in 4. So that was a pretty hard-fought battle up there too.
And that was, the volleyball game was at home last night, and it was a tough-fought game. The girls played well. I know they left everything out on the floor. Coach, how'd your granddaughters do this week? Volleyball, I know they played a couple games this week.
7th grade lost 2-1 in sets. No, excuse me. They lost 2-0 in sets to Gallia, but they came back and beat Cold Grove after being down 1-0 in sets and won the last 2 sets to win that match. 8th grade fell 2-1 in both matches against Cold Grove and Gallia. And Gallia is the premier team, both high school and middle school. So, but they played well. They played really well. I think 7th grade lost 25-23, and then turned around and lost 25-14 or 15, something like that. But you're talking about very well coached, and they take it pretty serious at Gallia, and they're a very good team. But they also told our girls that y'all have given us the stiffest competition that we've faced so far this year.
Yeah, Coach, you're right. I know a lot of those girls spend a lot of time up at the Root, up there playing volleyball throughout the summer and through the spring and the fall. So, they are the premier team. They've kind of set the bar for everybody in the league. I know middle school football came down here last night, come away victorious 22-8.
Yes.
I've seen some big plays by Bircham Kid, also Ford Rickard, several others. I've seen some highlights on Facebook and some different things. So great win for them last night.
Yeah, the McLean kid's a good little quarterback for 7th grader, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And so they're off to a 1-0 start, which is super exciting. Let's talk a little bit about last week, wrapping up, with Wellston. The game was kind of over at the opening kickoff. Cam Kids has 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, I think on the first 3 touches, and that was a kickoff return, a rushing touchdown, and an interception return. It's the first time that's been done since Michael Stitt done it out at Oak Hill his senior year. And I think it was only the second time in school history we've had that scenario where we've scored 3 touchdowns in a quarter in 3 different ways.
I was thinking about that today. I was going to say something to Michael about how they look like a well-oiled machine the first half. You scored offensively, defensively, special teams. There is nothing else to score from.
Right.
So anyway, I thought, well, what game comes to mind that when I was the head coach did we play a near perfect half? Because none of those kids started the second half. They scored those 21 points against our reserves and backups. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so, because Michael did the right thing by playing those kids. It gives them experience. We were up 49-0.
Yeah, scored 28 in the first quarter, Coach, and then 21 in the second quarter.
Right. Well, we were down my senior year. My senior year.
I don't remember playing with you, Coach. But
right now is my senior year. But Jeff was a senior in 1993, and we were down 14-0 against Tulsa at home. We came out the second half and hung 35 on them. and beat them 35-14.
Do you want,
so
Coach?
that's about the closest thing I can think of is having a pure, perfect half.
No, you're forgetting.
Okay.
You played down at Portsmouth East. And I think we scored.
That was Scott Chin.
Yes.
And Steve Fox.
I remember somebody, you remember, Coach, they had their daggone light poles right there on the sideline. And we ran a punt back.
Yeah.
Scott Chin.
I don't remember who made that block.
Scott Chin hit the kid. I remember standing beside Killer on the sideline. Or no, I was on a headset with Killer. I was up in the press box. And I can remember Killer going, he's dead. He's dead.
He hit that post with his, thank goodness, with his shoulder pad.
I'm telling you what, though, they laid him out. Steve Fox hit a kid down there, too. But didn't we score on a kickoff on a punt down there, too?
I couldn't remember what game it was, so I don't know that answer.
Well, that's one of the few that I remember vividly, but because I remember those hits, and I swear, Scotty Chin kicking extra points because he kept kicking them out in the road.
It was
I remember
Cobbleflesh,
Steve Fox returning.
Was it Cobbleflesh?
Cobbleflesh.
Okay.
Returning an interception for a touchdown at Chesapeake. We played them, and we selected them pretty good that game. But that was the only one I could think of where you're talking about a perfect half.
Right.
And
Coach, I remember. I remember maybe you giving out popsicles and hugs at halftime of that Tulsa game. We were down 14-0. It was.
You do.
Yeah.
You sure I wasn't kicking them
May
over?
the Lord not strike you dead here, as we said.
Maybe I was over in the other. No, we were talking about that the other night. I said we were down at the half.
I can tell you this. I remember the start of the second half. Wormley, he came over to me. He said, "Coach, we are not losing this football game." And we went out and hung 35 on them. So that was a great win.
It was. And the reason I said popsicles, I remember, I think, Coach, we started having a discussion when we got to the track. We were still having the discussion we got in the locker room. It was something about giving a bully my lunch money and every day at the bus stop. I don't know. Apparently, I was giving the bully my lunch money. And Coach was pointing that out to me. And the second half was completely different ball game. So some great moments and some great times.
That's like, I think I told you that you're either going to starve or you're going to fight back.
That's right. We started fighting back a little bit and turned that game around. Big matchup tonight. I know Coach Jackson will be over here in a few minutes. To come into this stadium, we did 6 years ago. We were the underdog, huge underdog. We saw Joe Lambiot lead us down the field, throw a 25-yard pass to Riley Sowards.
In this end zone
right here in the end zone behind us.
We were talking about that on the way down, but we had the wrong people in the wrong year.
We're loud.
We're the last team that's ever beat them in the LVC?
We were the first team to beat them in 61 years in Lawrence County. I think they went on that year. I think Chesapeake may have beat them, and Colgrove maybe. I know Chesapeake beat them that year. It was kind of a down year for them, but I know that was the first game that Ironton had lost to a Lawrence County team in 61 years. And you think of the teams that they had matched up with. They'd matched up with South Point. They'd matched up with us in the past. They'd matched up with Rock Hill a few times. So for Fairland to come down here and win that night, that was an amazing feat. We saw the jump pass that night. I believe it was Kedrick or somebody, a little jump pass to Chase Fisher right down here, right down here in this end zone. Just an all-around great night. And I remember that day Melvin telling me he was getting on the bus, and I was standing there, and I said, "Coach, good luck to you." And he said, "We're going to see you in the winner's circle here in a little bit." He said, "I'm winning that ball game." And when Riley Sowards caught that pass here, there was just a few seconds left.
Right.
He had two people around him.
Two people around him. We were standing here on the sideline. There was me, Tessa, and my brother-in-law, Josh, and I can't remember who else. And Melvin run by us, and he looked at us, and he said, "I told you we were winning this ball game." He kept right on coming down here, and about 8 seconds later, we're out here celebrating in the middle of the field. So, historical. Think of the guys who have played in this stadium. Coach Carlos Snow with Cape that come down here. Right. I believe Donna McNabb was on the team, one of the teams out of Virginia that came in here and played Ironton. Even you look back at Jermon Jackson, Walt DeLong, Coy Bacon, all these guys that played in this stadium as a high school kid.
You better give some linemen. Kenny Fritz.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, how can you forget that guy?
Kratzenberg.
Kratzenberg.
you know, there was a lot of guys, J.J. King, a lot of those guys were great players on that 93 team. We can't forget Brent Wilcoxon. Brent's got one of these state championships. We're sitting right here, 1979. Brent was a starting quarterback. And believe it or not, and I used to give Brent a hard time about this, Brent threw a pass to win the state championship game against Akron-Vincent St. Mary's.
In the Akron Bowl.
In the Akron Bowl.
Right, that's where they played them.
I don't think it was as cold as the game you coached in the Akron Bowl up there, but
I'm telling you, it was 4 inches of ice.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. We won 8-7.
Yeah, but I used to give Brent a hard time because he'd tell me, he said I won a state championship as a quarterback. I said, Brent, how many times did you throw the football? And he said, and he pulled out the video. I think it was 8 millimeter, and he said, right here. He said, I won a state championship.
Yep. He showed me that.
So, you know, at 1989, there's several guys on that team. There was a guy, Cyrus, that has passed away, that was on that team. There were several other greats on that team also. We went to Canton and watched them play.
Yeah.
The 1 year that they
was
got
Dave
beat.
Cyrus's boy.
Yeah.
J.D. Cyrus.
J.D. Cyrus, yes.
Played
J.D.
at Marshall.
Played at Marshall. So just the history coming in here, it's a special place to come in and play. Of all the greats, you know, the stadium's on the Historical Society. They've done a lot of work to it here, put turf down, redone the press box a couple years ago. Trevin's done an awesome job of getting some sponsors. He has that big showcase, that Ironton showcase. It was last weekend. It brings in just money hand over fist. So
they had some good teams
they had
here,
some
like
great teams.
Martinsburg. They had the team out of Maryland.
Yeah, DeMatha was down here, and they had a great nightcap on the Ironton-Jackson game. So, you know, if you watch that on TV, it was, you've seen several people here. So, just the history here in Ironton, you know, it goes clear back to the professional days. This is what the stadium was built for. It was for the Ironton Tanks originally.
Yep.
So, anyways, getting back to the Wellston game, like you guys said, well-oiled machine. We felt like last week. Starters didn't play a lot in the second half, if any at all. A couple of them maybe played. Jack Hayden played a little quarterback.
Jack Hayden played quarterback.
Played a little quarterback.
And I don't think C.J. Graham starts, but he plays quite a bit. He's played well this year.
Yeah.
He played a lot in the second half.
Well, but you know what? It was really, I mean, we had 342 yards of offense last week. They had 172. But guess what? We only had 14 first downs. They had 12. Think about that.
All 12 of them had to be in the second half.
Yeah.
It had to be because
that's where it was.
First 3 or 4 possessions was 3 and out.
3 and outs.
I think somebody said they had 3 yards at half. So everything coming in the second half.
Did they have 3?
I don't know. I know we sacked the quarterback a few times.
Right. I know they said, I think they said 3 times there. So let's kind of look at the league. We were coming down here tonight, and I had Killer looking it up for me. Chesapeake Racing Southern, the Fighting Tornadoes.
0-2.
0-2.
Todd Nipp's going to get another one. He's going to go 3-0 this week.
I think so. I think he goes 3-0.
That can only be good for them. They were very young last year and suffered through a pretty tough season. And so he's got them headed in the right direction.
Right. South Point at home against Russell. South Point's dropped the game to Boyd County. They beat Alexander last week right at the end. So South Point's 1-1. I believe Russell's 1-1 also.
They are.
Who did Russell lose to? Didn't
they lose to Ashland the first game?
No, they haven't played Ashland yet. I think they played them about the fourth game of the year. They lost to Greenup County.
Yes, that's what it was.
Greenup County travels to Portsmouth tonight. Portsmouth 1-1 on the season. Right now they got a loss to Portsmouth West, a win over Lucasville Valley. And so they're playing Greenup County tonight.
Greenup County got a nice quarterback, Salmons.
Yeah.
Salmons get.
Greenup County played Colgrove last week. No.
Opening week. Opening week. And Colgrove got the win against Greenup County.
Yeah, they only won by a touchdown.
Right. The Battle of 93 tonight. Rock Hill, Oak Hill.
Rock Hill.
I would play Rock Hill too.
Here, under 5 total passes thrown in that ball game tonight.
Under.
That game will start at 7 and it'll be over by 8:15 tonight.
Those two teams, if they throw 2 passes, don't you think, Coach?
It's got to be third and
forever.
Third
Ohio River
60, yeah. And then we have Colgrove traveling to Meigs. Meigs is 0-2, losses to Gallia Academy, Fairfield Union. Colgrove is 2-0, wins over Lucasville Valley and Greenup.
I think Colgrove will beat them. I talked to Coach Andy Clark from Fairfield this week, and I gave him a hard time. I said, "Oh yeah, you're not any good, 38-0." And he said, "Well, we just played really well."
Right.
He said the defense played well, starting to get kids in the spots where they need to be and understanding the game. So I'm going to go Cold Grove on that.
Over.
I agree.
Other Lawrence County game, Sims Valley, River Valley. The Battle of the Valley tonight, both 0-2.
Ooh, that's a toss-up.
I think it's at Sims Valley, too, I believe.
Is that
Little trip down to 141, correct?
You know, I
over and
love
under 3 touchdowns?
I love Ben Ferguson out there at Sims Valley. I mean, I went to high school with his dad, and I've known Ben. He's Mackenzie Lambiot's fiance, and he is an all-around great guy and a good coach. But I think River Valley's got some more hogs than what he's got.
Right.
He's very, very young.
He's struggling a little bit out there, but he's got a good group coming.
Yes.
You know, I hope the people out at Sims Valley. Ben's a great guy. He's teaching out there. I hope they give him a little bit of leadway and let him have a couple years, and then he's going to get that program turned around. A couple college games. Got Marshall Albany coming up here tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Marshall's home opener. I know Albany won last week over somebody I heard on the radio there today. I think Marshall gives them at home. I don't need tune-up game, yeah. Tune-up game.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. Virginia Tech coming in here 2 weeks to watch them play. High State, Youngstown State tomorrow? Or High State? High State
Indiana.
at Indiana. Big Ten opener.
Yeah.
Big Ten opener. If you watched the Big Ten opener last night, Minnesota and Wisconsin.
No, that was
Nebraska. Sorry, whatever. It was. I think they scored 8 points combined or something. It was.
Well, they won on a last-second field goal.
13-10.
Who won?
Minnesota.
Did they?
Minnesota come back and won.
Yeah.
Scored with 2 minutes left in the game.
I know it was like 7-3 after.
Yeah.
I kept watching Florida and Utah.
Yeah, but Coach, you need to do what I do and get that special TV. I watched 4 games last night at the same time.
Well, I remember seeing.
I think I might have that. I just don't know how to do it.
Hey, the only reason I know is because it told me in the corner of the screen.
Yeah. Minnesota went up, I believe it was 10-3. Nebraska goes up 10-3. Minnesota scores with a little over 2 minutes left, got the ball back, come down, kick game-winning field goal. So, great game for them last night. Another exciting week coming up, for the Dragons. We got several things on the slate. Even though it's a holiday, my boys' soccer team Monday is going to travel to Portsmouth West. The football team should be hosting Ironton, JV, on Monday night. So a couple things going on there on Labor Day. If you don't have anything better to be doing, come on down to Dragon Stadium at 6 o'clock. Watch the Dragons play Portsmouth West. Not sure of the rest of the schedule. I know that they're all doing something. On Saturday morning, Fairland's going to host the Run by the River cross-country invitational. Coach, you coming up for Watch Lola on that one?
You betcha.
You better get there early. Because, listen, that is the biggest crowd.
I heard there was something like 60 teams.
It's crazy. Coach,
unbelievable. Where are they going to park?
Where are you going to park the buses?
We have to send the buses up to the elementary school, or we try to get what we can. We try to get on our bus lot, and then we send the rest of them to the elementary school. I have cars parked about this close. Anywhere we can park a car, we put a car.
What time's that start?
The girls' middle school is going to start at 10 o'clock. Boys' middle school at 10:30. Girls' high school at 11, and the boys' high school at 11:45. That's a great race. We'll have.
Can I bring a tent and camp out?
Yes, you better. After the game Friday night, when you guys get off the air next Friday night, you better just go right on up there. I tease Josh all the time. We go get a pizza, and we go up there and wait for somebody to bring us tutors the next morning because we start parking cars early.
Wow.
It's about 700 runners will come up and run Saturday.
Look who graced us with his presence.
Oh, it's about time. Sit down there, young man.
Coach Jackson. Coach, I was on Coach Harris here when he sat down here. He sat down in this chair I'm in. I said, big guy. I said, I'm too superstitious. Get over there where you belong.
We're touring out like
That's right. So we've been set like this for 2 weeks. Let's get over where you belong.
That's right.
Hey, Coach Jackson, I know this is TMI, but Coach Gorby has the same underwear on he had last 2 weeks.
I like the dedication.
I had 12 cents in my pocket down at Portsmouth West. I got 12 more cents in my pocket tonight. Listen, Coach, I'm so superstitious for you guys, but it's only football. Anything else, I just whatever. I could care less. But football, I'm superstitious.
It is what it is, man. That's why I tell everybody I'm biased, I guess, but there's nothing like it, right, Coach?
Right.
It's just nothing like it. So
I agree with you. Coach, big week. I know we've talked a little bit about Ironton and stuff. Fill us in. What are we looking at, other than Sean Terry, what are we looking at on film?
Well, they got 2 hard runners in Zane and the Hart kid, both thick kids, hard runners. The quarterback can throw a good deep ball, and he's a mobile quarterback. He'll run. And then they got Shrek out on the outside. It's good, too. And then they got the Patterson kid on the line that's going to Eastern Michigan. So, I mean, you look at it, they ain't got no weak spots, you know what I mean? But
right.
Anybody that knows football on the high know that's Ironton, right?
Right.
So we just relish the opportunity to get to play their statue of a team this early in the year to see where we stand.
Right. And it's always, I know you know about the nostalgia of coming in here to play and the history of this short rivalry. We ain't played but about 7-8 years. What's it been this week in preparation with you talking to your kids and as a coach about having to come into this environment and play?
They're excited for it. The seniors was sophomores 2 years ago and went to overtime. Mm-hmm. And then the juniors now played a lot last year as sophomores, and we had a good game in the first half. We let it get away from us in the fourth quarter. So that's, Ironton's got 60 kids. They got a lot more depth. That's why we worked on conditioning this year, and hopefully fourth quarter we got a chance to win the ball game.
And I think that's all you can ask for. If you come down to the fourth quarter, you're still in the ball game, you have those opportunities to win. And that's a great opportunity for your kids to be in that situation. Coach, a lot of kids last week only played about a half. So now you're going to have to play that full 4 quarters tonight. A little tune-up last week. We've seen Cam had a great game. Jack Hayden had a great game, among others. We always miss, and parents, I'm so sorry if we do miss a couple names or whatever. It's not that we don't see your kid. It's just that we get up here and I brain lock. So Coach, who's had a great week of practice for you?
I think that Jackson boy had a good game, too.
We expect out of him, though, okay? we expect that. He's a 3-year starter, so he knows what he's supposed to do. But I appreciate that. But I'm going to brag on our bragging online this week. We were violent in practice this week. Our line was, because I told them that's what we got to be tonight. We got to be violent. And we was violent with each other. We was violent on the sled, on Irene and the 3-man sled. So let's just hope it carries over to tonight, because watching Ironton, one thing, their D-line, I like the way they get off the ball. I mean, they're in attack mode, and I think we're up to the challenge for it.
One thing I noticed last week that you did better than the first week was set the post on the edge.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like we better set the post on the edge again because of the Terry kid and the quarterback. Our kids know we can't let them get out in space. If they can't get going, they're not going to get going, right? That's our goal, of course. But if they do get outside, we feel good about our athletes. Just got to break down, watch the hips, make the tackle. But we got Garrett Spence back. We said him last week, and get kicked guys that ain't got to watch Garrett Spence this year. Hopefully, he might not be 100%, but at 9% Garrett Spence is a ball player. Right. A little bit ago when his dad came in, he said he's going to go as long as he can go.
That's right, and he makes our defense a lot better. And
he was a great special teams player last year.
Mm-hmm. We're going to probably keep him off special teams tonight just because he don't have his wind, where he's out them few weeks. So we're just going to play him on D. But he'll make a difference, I promise.
Coach, you brought that up. What kind of injuries are you looking at? Are we fairly healthy? I haven't heard anything in the building this week.
Dylan Stone got tweaked up last week, and he was day to day. But Wednesday in practice he went and did fine. So we're trying him on offense only this week because he's our center, so that's pretty important. Pretty important. Them snaps on the line, that gives Peyton that chance to read the defense. If they're everywhere, he don't have a chance to process where he needs to process. So we're probably not going to play him on defense, play him on offense, but he seems to be ready to go.
That sounds good. Coach, we're going to let you get back to your kids. I know it's important you get in there and give them a good little pep talk before you get back out here. Good luck to you tonight. Again, 3 hours. We're going to be celebrating that winner.
Let's do it, man. I appreciate it.
Let's do it.
Thank you,
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck to you. Coach Carroll and I talked a little bit today, and we a little bit. And I know
No, a little bit.
yeah, we talked a little bit. He was kind of busy today, and I was a little bit busy. I was taking care of some athletic responsibilities. So Coach and I had a conversation. He wanted to give a big shout out to the cheerleaders, I believe.
Yeah, well, I don't have my phone with me. Jerry's got, so we're going to have to give it during the game.
So we'll get another shout out, but I know one cheerleader in particular, she had a great soccer game last night. Katie Stitt, she had 10 saves in that soccer game last night.
Did she really?
Yes.
Wow.
Katie is the workhorse there in the goal. I know that she does a lot of work. You know, she goes to an hour and a half of cheerleading practice, jumps in the car, eats on the way up there, gets out, and has a great soccer game. Also, Kinsey Ray, she was athlete of the week, along with Gabe Polson, Clark's Fruit Vegetable Farm, doing my athlete of the week. I know it was Kinsey Ray, a cheerleader, and Gabe Polson for his performance in soccer. Again, those of you who are tuning in, please pay attention to our sponsors up in the top corner. These are the guys that are helping us out and getting us the equipment that we need, helping us out financially, doing some things again. Please go visit them. We want to give a big shout out to Jason Morris. Jason's going to feed these guys at home games for the rest of the year.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have to listen to them talk about how good so-and-so's wings are or how good how good them cheese sticks are. Now, I do apologize, fans, for that. But, again, big shout-out to Jason Morris. Tonight's game sponsor is Armstrong Cable Network.
Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. The Codgers will be live back at 7 o'clock. We're getting dug in here somewhere, getting set up so that these guys can bring it to you live. Jerry will be working behind the scenes. My brother-in-law, Josh, will be behind the scenes.
Coach, we need to thank Coach Pendleton for allowing us to do this tonight.
Yes, a big shout-out to Coach Pendleton and his staff and Ironton High School for allowing us to come down here and take part of this. Again, you know, this is Ironton's last go-around in the league for football. So, you know, it's an exciting time for the High Valley Conference. So, you know, we appreciate them letting us come in here.
I want to say one more thing here, Coach. You know, we talked about trap games last week, right? Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Ironton's got a huge game next Saturday night.
Right.
They're playing at the Joan up at Marshall, playing Cabell Midland. So, you know, hey, maybe Ironton's going to be looking past Little Fairland.
Right, and I think we talked about that. How much film session this week from Pendleton and his staff was devoted to Fairland, and how much of that was devoted to Cabell Midland for the next week? You know, so it could be a trap game.
Well, for them. You know, I read the paper this morning, and they had a little article on Ironton and Fairland, and he said that Fairland's a good ball club. So I think we might have earned some respect so far.
I agree. You know, we are. We've turned some heads. We're 2-0 again. We come into this game. I think the last 2 years we've come into this game 2-0. It's always been a great showdown. I'm expecting a huge crowd tonight. Our students are getting in here. They're in their neon tonight. I know they were going all out for that. Cheerleaders buying in, got their neon bows on. I know, Coach, you'll give them a shout out when you get upstairs. I'm looking forward for an exciting night. We got our offensive linemen, the what I would call the real guys of glory right here behind us. You know, I was one of those guys.
That's
now,
right.
I was a whole lot smaller. I wish I looked like some of these guys. Coach, I may have been a little bit better center if I'd have looked like this number 50 right here. I couldn't even begin to fill that uniform out. So, again, we're going to let these guys get off here so we can kind of move our production upstairs. We appreciate you joining us here today on the pregame show. Coach,
we're going to try to get on at 6:50 if we can tonight.
So at 6:50, we're going to try to log back on and run through some things again. Big shout out to Jerry for what he's doing. We added a guy to us tonight, Rusty, another crew member. He was carrying stuff in and helping us.
Rusty the Mule.
Rusty the Mule, yeah. Rusty did a great job.
Coach, we dropped him off at the gate. Said, Rusty, I see the stools over there.
Right.
There he went packing them.
Right. Well, he come in the gate with us, and I don't even think he let the gate worker ask him who he was or whatever. Rusty just kind of had stools and equipment, had his head down, and just kept right on walking. He was 100 mile an hour. So, again, thank you to Rusty for that and everything.
You know what? Let's mention everybody's had a part. I mean, we really do. I mean, Doug's upstairs right now. You got J.R. Clark over here. We got Killer. We got Rusty. We got Josh Ross. We got Jerry Bell. Guys, these are the fellas that
Make it happen.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
let us come do this.
And it was funny. We were getting out of the car, and I brought both my daughters with me tonight. And we were getting out of the car, and they had their
Yeah,
phones
let's
in their
give
hand.
them a shout
I said,
out,
listen,
too.
I said,
That's
girls,
right.
put those
Ellen
phones in your
Morgan.
pocket. You get a tripod. You get this. You get that. And they were talking to us all the way across through there, but they're happy to be here. Yardley and Ellison both coming over and helping us get things set up, and we're going to holler at them here and get things upstairs.
We got to shout out to the bus drivers, Alicia and Angie. They saved us a spot. We just had to go over the curb to get to
It. I was going to park over there. We end up supporting the church. We paid our $3 over here, and we got here a little bit early. We got a little late start, and I had to listen to JR and Killer griping at me about not stopping to eat.
Well, Coach, I tell them how important that is. Hey, when you get our age, you got to work on that starvation
You do.
insurance.
You do. I told him, I said, guys, listen, I said, do me a favor, go get your piece of pizza at the concession stand. I'll stop on the way home somewhere, and we'll get us something to eat. So, again, Dragon Nation, we appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully 6:50 or 6:50, these guys will be back on the air.
Try.
Well, game time is 7, so we'll be on the air by then.
We'll
right.
just say we got the guru, Jerry
That's
Bell, and got Doug up there, and we're going to get it done.
Dragon Nation, have a good evening. We'll see you back at 6:50.
See you in a little bit.